Hi everybody, Tom Gile at the Gile Group, bringing the latest Gile report. With Q3 now in the rearview mirror, it's hard to believe, we're going to take a look at how real estate has fared so far in 2022, both in Portland and some key markets around the Portland metro area. So let's kick it off like we always do. Let's take a look at listings first, look at the supply side of things. As you can see, listings are down, but they're really only down about 6.8% compared to 2021, which is a very strong listing year. So jumping over to take a look at the demand side of things, we definitely are seeing some weaker demand here as we move into 2022. As you can see, the year started out pretty strong, but definitely started to tail off as the interest rates started to rise. We're trailing last year by about 13.8%. But that really hasn't had a huge impact on sales price. And we're going to jump into the inventory graph here in a minute. But if you look at sales, average sales price last month was $598,000. That's up 4.8% from last year. We're not seeing those double-digit numbers, but you can also see, we're still well ahead of where we're at last year at this time. Inventory is definitely taking a climb up here, which is great. We're at 2.2 months worth of inventory, but take a look. I mean, that's still pretty low by historical standards. We had higher inventory back in 2017, 2018. So we're really getting back to more what I'm going to call a normal market. So taking a look around the metro area, some key markets. We take a look at Beaverton, it's definitely one of our bigger markets in the metro area. Prices are actually up 13% compared to last year. We're definitely seeing some things starting to, the market's starting to cool a little bit, but boy, inventory is still at 1.5 months, which is low. It's up about 75% from where it was at last year at this time. So that's good news for Beaverton. Lake Oswego is kind of an interesting market. The average price is over $1 million there. And Lake Oswego has been relatively flat price-wise. It's up about 5.5%, but if you take a look at kind of what it's done throughout the year, it's just kind of done this up and down, up and down. Some other markets are kind of interesting. Tiger-Tualatin markets are showing strong price appreciation, and inventory there is still pretty low. I mean, take a look at Tualatin. We still only have 1.1 months worth of inventory in Tualatin, so still, pretty darn tight market here in Tualatin. Some of the bigger markets in Portland Metro, Northeast and Southeast, as you can see here, the prices have been a little more modest in terms of gain. 3.5% increase and 6.7% increase. And inventory is hanging right around that 2-month mark. So the kind of interesting thing, I did a quick check, and it's not on the graph here, but I want to see, okay, what areas are not performing well, because something has to be driving that average inventory that we're seeing of 2.2, and it's not these areas we're showing here. So I took a look, a deep dive into what is the typical Southwest Portland market. That market has been pretty slow. It's actually got about 3 months worth of inventory. So that's that area that's around I-5 as you head up the I-5 corridor into downtown and head out west towards Beaverton. And that area is definitely, some of the slowest areas here in the Portland metro area right now. So given all this information, here's Tom's take, and here's what I think is going on here. So we're going to look at some factors that are impacting pricing. Definitely lower buyer demand is impacting pricing, but also when you look at this graph, seasonality is impacting pricing to some degree right now. And actually, I think to a pretty big degree, because you can also look, the market typically tops out price-wise around May. And you can see that in the 2021 numbers. You can also see it again this year, where we peak out because that summer selling season really starts in spring, and prices tend to crest at that point in time and then drop off. So we are seeing a reduction in price for sure, but a fair amount of that is seasonality based, and obviously some of it's also going to be due to buyer demand. Inventory is still low, like I mentioned. It's at 2.2 months. So taking a look at the buyer demand side, buyer demand's definitely off. It's down 13.8% for the year, but it's down 29.4% for the month of September when you look at it year over year. So we definitely are seeing some slowdown in the buyer demand in addition to what's normal seasonality. And I think this is mainly impacted by interest rates. It's not a surprise, which recently topped 6%. So kind of looking at all this, I still don't see any signs of a crash. We don't see any signs of, market prices coming way down. We still have pretty low inventory. Prices are remaining pretty solid, but interest rates are having a cooling effect, and they're going to continue to kind of dictate what we're seeing in the marketplace right now. Just remember, there's always people that are going to need to buy and sell due to life changes, so that's always going to be happening, but we definitely are seeing a little bit of slowdown here. The other thing is kind of interesting. I'm hearing words of some possible interest rate relief on the horizon, which I'm going to get into in next week's Gile report. Have any questions or like more information, either on the market or your home? Reach out to us on social media, give us a call, or shoot us an email at askgilegroup@gilegroup.com. We'd love to hear from you.